Hello, and welcome to the Daily English Podcast. My name's James, and I'm your host today.
And I'm Sophie, your co-host. Thanks for joining us. We're so happy to have you with us today.
So, Sophie, let me ask you, and everyone listening, have you ever wondered why it sometimes feels scary to try something new? Like, why do we get so nervous when we step outside our normal routines?
Oh, definitely. I mean, think about your first day at a new school or job, or the first time you tried to speak a new language in front of someone. It can feel terrifying, right?
Exactly. Today, we're exploring that feeling. Our topic is get out of your comfort zone. We'll talk about what that really means, why it matters, and how you can do it, even when it feels tough.
We'll also share some of our own stories, and of course, we'll break things down in easy English. So, if you want to improve your confidence and your language skills, you're in the right place.
Let's jump in. But first, Sophie, do you remember a time when you had to step out of your comfort zone?
Oh, yeah, actually, I do. I remember when I traveled alone for the first time. I went to a small village in Scotland. I didn't know anyone, and I was honestly really nervous, but it ended up being one of the best experiences of my life.
That sounds amazing. For me, it was when I started learning Spanish. I was so afraid of making mistakes and sounding silly, but, I realized that's just part of the process. You have to make mistakes to learn.
Yeah, totally. I think everyone has those moments, and that's why today's topic is so important. Getting out of your comfort zone isn't just about big adventures. It's about the small steps, too.
So let's talk about what a comfort zone actually is. For our listeners, a comfort zone is basically the place or situation where you feel safe, relaxed, and, comfortable. It's your routine. The things you know you can do without stress.
Right? Like maybe you always go to the same coffee shop, order the same drink, or hang out with the same friends. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you always stay there, you might miss out on new experiences.
Exactly. So getting out of your comfort zone means trying something different. Something that might make you a little bit nervous or uncomfortable, but could help you grow.
And it doesn't have to be something huge. Even small changes can help. Like talking to a new colleague at work or trying a new food.
Let's talk about some advantages of leaving your comfort zone. What comes to mind first for you, Sophie?
I think personal growth. When you do something you've never done before, you learn more about yourself. You might discover that you're braver or more creative than you thought.
That's a great point. And I'd add that it can help you build confidence. Every time you try something new and survive, maybe even succeed, you feel a little stronger.
Yeah, and I think it opens new opportunities. For example, learning a new language can help you travel, meet new people, or get a better job.
Exactly. On the flip side, let's be honest, there are also some challenges. Getting out of your comfort zone can feel stressful. You might worry about failing or embarrassing yourself.
Oh, absolutely. Sometimes it feels safer to just stay where you are. I remember I almost canceled my trip to Scotland because I was so anxious. But I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah, and sometimes people think that being comfortable is a bad thing, but that's not true. We all need comfort to rest and recharge. The key is to find a balance.
Right? And sometimes what's scary for one person is easy for someone else. Like maybe you love public speaking, but your friend hates it. Or maybe you find it easy to make new friends, but someone else feels shy.
Definitely. Everyone's comfort zone is different. So, listeners, think about your own comfort zone. What are some things you find easy and what feels difficult?
And maybe, just for a second, imagine yourself doing something a little bit outside of your comfort zone. How does it feel? Exciting? Scary? Both?
I like that. Let's talk about some common misconceptions. One big mistake is thinking you have to do something extreme, like skydiving or moving to a new country. But really, it can be as simple as starting a conversation in English, right?
Exactly. For language learners, even asking for directions in English can feel like a big step. I remember when I was learning French, I was so nervous to order food in a restaurant. But after I did it once, it got easier.
Yeah, and sometimes people think that if they fail, it means they shouldn't try. But actually, making mistakes is how we learn. Every mistake is like a teacher.
That's so true. I also think people believe that being uncomfortable is always a bad thing, but sometimes that feeling just means you're learning.
Let's give our listeners some actionable tips. Sophie, what's your first piece of advice for someone who wants to step out of their comfort zone?
Okay, first tip, start small. You don't need to change everything at once. Maybe just try talking to one new person this week, or try a new activity.
That's great. My tip is celebrate your progress. Even if you do something small, give yourself a pat on the back. Recognize that you're growing.
Another idea is to keep a journal. Write down how you feel before and after trying something new. Sometimes you'll see that the thing you feared wasn't so bad after all.
And tell someone about your plan. If you share your goals with a friend, they can support you and maybe even join you.
Also, remember to be kind to yourself. If things don't go perfectly, that's okay. You're still learning.
Let's give some real-life examples. Imagine you're an English learner and you want to practice speaking. What's something you could do?
Well, you could join a language exchange group, or if that feels too big, maybe just say hello to your neighbor in English.
Or you could order food at a cafe in English. Even if you're nervous, the first time is always the hardest, but it gets easier.
Absolutely. And sometimes you might make a mistake or forget a word. That's normal. Most people are friendly and will help you.
I remember once I tried to ask for directions in French and totally confused the person. We both laughed, and in the end, he helped me anyway.
Those moments can be funny or even a little embarrassing, but they make the best stories later.
Let's talk about cultural differences. In some countries, people are encouraged to try new things all the time. In others, it's more common to stick to traditions or routines.
Yeah, that's true. For example, in the UK or the US, people might say, just give it a shot or go for it. But in some cultures, people might be more careful or wait until they feel ready.
Good point. And remember, there's no right or wrong way. Everyone moves at their own pace.
Do you know what I find interesting, James? Sometimes when you move to a new country or learn a new language, just going to the grocery store can feel like a big adventure.
Oh, for sure. I remember feeling nervous just asking where the milk was. It's the little things that push us to grow.
So, listeners, what's something small you can try this week? Maybe it's speaking up in class, or trying a new hobby, or even just taking a different route to work.
Yeah, and if you want, write to us and tell us about it. We love hearing your stories.
Before we wrap up, let's talk about some key vocabulary from today's episode. Ready?
Let's do it. First up, comfort zone. As we said, that means the place or situation where you feel safe and comfortable, not trying anything new.
Right. For example, speaking English with my family is in my comfort zone, but speaking with strangers is outside my comfort zone.
Next phrase, step out of. If you step out of your comfort zone, it means you do something new or different.
Example, I stepped out of my comfort zone by joining an English club.
Another word, challenge. A challenge is something that is difficult but can help you grow.
For example, learning to swim was a challenge for me, but now I love it.
Growth is an important one too. It means becoming better, smarter, or stronger, usually after trying something new.
And here's a phrase you might hear, give it a shot. This just means try it. It's very common in English, like, I've never danced before, but I'll give it a shot.
Let's do one more. Take a risk. This means to do something where you don't know what will happen. Sometimes it's scary, but it can lead to something great.
So, for example, she took a risk by starting her own business.
And just for fun, pat on the back. If you do something good, you can give yourself a pat on the back. It just means you're proud of yourself.
I love that one. I gave myself a pat on the back for talking to someone new in English.
So, listeners, remember, stepping out of your comfort zone is about making small changes, taking risks, and celebrating every effort. It's totally normal to feel nervous, but every step helps you grow.
And don't forget, learning a new language is a huge step. Every time you listen to this podcast, you're already outside your comfort zone, so well done.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you have a story about getting out of your comfort zone, send us a message. We'd love to hear from you.
And if you liked this episode, please share it with a friend or leave us a review. We always appreciate your support.
Thanks for listening to the Daily English Podcast. Keep growing, keep learning, and remember, don't be afraid to give it a shot.
Bye for now. See you next time.
Take care, everyone.